Do you want to understand young boys better than you think you already do? Well, if so, I have a book for you, and it is called dun, 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 The Way of Boys by Dr. Anthony Rao and Michelle Seaton. This book completely changed my perspective on the way I was engaging, teaching, and assessing the young boys in my care. I don't have boys, I have two daughters, and I immediately saw a difference in behavior with the boys in my classroom versus the girls in my classroom. And that's when I came across this book, The Way of Young Boys. Now, this book is so helpful because we know that young boys tend to be overdiagnosed in this nation. They are quick to get labeled as having autism, bipolarism, ADD. And what this book teaches us is to just respect the development, the natural development and growth of our young boys. Now, I'm going to read a little bit of it here. It says, some parents don't want to believe that boys and girls are different, but they are, especially at this young age, primarily because boys are building skills in a different order than girls. Language and social skills develop later in boys because their early focus is on developing spatial and tactile abilities. There is a difference between boys and girls, and we have to respect it. So this book is very helpful. It goes into why is my child so physical? Why does he have so much energy? Why does he like the villains? Is he going to be aggressive? Why doesn't he like to make eye contact? What? How does he express empathy? Boys express empathy differently from girls. So this book blew my mind away, and it's definitely something that I would encourage teachers and parents to pick up alike. Now, talking about our young boys, let's talk about our young Black boys. So we know that boys are quick to be diagnosed and sometimes overly diagnosed, but it's not always the same with our young Black boys. As a matter of fact, studies show that young Black boys are often delayed in their diagnosis, meaning by 3 years, meaning it's a whole 3 years goes by before they say, oh, you know what? I think something might be wrong with your, something might be different with your son. He has autism, or he has ADHD, or he has bipolarism, or other learning challenges. So instead, what they do with our Black boys is say that, oh, he's bad. Oh, he's slow. He can't learn. He can't read. And their answer to those types of behaviors that are usually, shown in both races, Black and white, and everything in between, the answer is for our young Black boys is to expel and to suspend. And even in preschool, 3-year-olds are getting expelled from school all the way up to 3rd grade. They are getting suspended and expelled from school, which is very sad because child development is that precious zero, like out the womb up until 9 years old. And you have to give children that time to develop at their own pace with your support and encouragement. So I have a book for you. This book is called, actually, I have an author for you, and his name is Derek Barnes. I am in love with his books. This one is called Crown, an Ode to the Fresh Cut. You can see all the awards that it's won. The illustrator is Gordon C. James. Don't want to leave him out because this book is beautifully illustrated. Let me just show you a picture right here. And I'm just going to read a little bit because I absolutely love, look at this. Look at this. Love this book. So it says, when it's your turn in the chair, you stand at attention and forget about who you were when you walked through the door. You came in as a lump of clay, a blank canvas, a slab of marble. But when my man is done with you, they'll want to post you up in a museum. That's my word. He'll drape you like royalty with that cape to keep that fine hairs off your neck and your princely robes. It's amazing what a tight fade, high, low, bald, does for your confidence. Dark Season. And so here it is. It's a beautiful, beautiful book. He also has another one called I Am All Good Things. I can't even read that book. When I read that book, I choke up because it's so uplifting, and it just fills my heart with pride. So I suggest that you get Derek Barnes's books, and you can read these to your children whether or not you have a Black kid in your classroom. I had a first grade classroom. I read this book, Derek Barnes's books, to my children, and they loved it. And I didn't have not one single solitary Black child in my care. But don't wait for that. You need to be culturally responsive. You need to introduce these characters and books and this kind of storytelling to your classroom, no matter what the cultural makeup is in your classroom. So add Derek Barnes's books to your library. He has two about being in kindergarten. I think it's called The King of Kindergarten and The Queen of Kindergarten, which is really beautiful. And you must, whether you're a parent or a teacher, The Way of Boys will definitely change your perspective on how we are engaging with our beautiful, beautiful young boys. Hope this helps.